What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Double Dribble Podcast. This is episode 24, I believe. As always, I'm Destin.
And I'm Drew.
It's
And
Drew,
man, oh
man.
man,
We gotta
let's shed a tear from my pick this year.
we got
And
a
also
couple
for,
things to get into. Yeah, wait, you wanna start with that? We can probably start with it.
let's get it out. Let's get it out the way. Let's get it out the way.
Let's get it out the
All
way.
right.
All right. So
So yeah,
unless you've been sleeping. Oh, matter of
Go
fact,
ahead,
you know what?
Go ahead.
No, I was just about to say, unless you've been sleeping under a rock, you missed the epic Celtics and Sixers series that just went down.
Okay, epic series. That sounds better. Cause
Yeah.
don't say
Epic.
it wasn't an epic game 7. We're gonna talk about that.
It was a thrilling, exciting series between two Eastern Conference powerhouses.
Yeah, for some games here and there, but don't worry.
And Drew, since this was the team you picked, I remember from the beginning of the season. And this series was very
now to maintain my consistency and my honesty and my objectivity, because before the series, I did say Celtics in 6 before the series, on the caveat that we did not have Embiid, and I thought he was going to be hobbled, not fully healthy, and I said if Embiid's not fully healthy, then I have to pick the Celtics in 6, and then got surprised by Sixers, going in there, winning game 1, Harden going crazy. I thought that they could still win, but I didn't think it was going to be in that fashion. And then they end up, being 2-2, even series, and beats back. And of course, they go up 3-2 on, a dominant win in Boston. Like, seeing it go that way, yeah, of course, that's going to influence in time how you see things. But watching the series, I never felt like Embiid was fully healthy in that series. And I felt like he was definitely hindered. So, particularly when it came to, whenever he faced contact. Because I remember how you played during the season, playing against contact, versus how he was playing in this series whenever he had anybody on him. Whenever he was facing contact, he was shying away from it a lot more, especially in the paint. Like, he was going up weak. He was barely getting up off the ground in comparison to what he was doing before the injury. And it's definitely I could see that it was affecting him. Like, he was putting up, even on his midi, he was having moments where he was barely getting any lift on his shot. And but where it was definitely noticeable was when he was going to the rim. When he was going to the rim, this was not the same Embiid that we saw during the season. That was killing the Celtics. If you go watch the games he had against the Celtics during the season, he was killing them, and he was moving completely different, right? And we didn't really see that guy in this series. If you go look at his numbers, it's not even close. And it's not like they were just forcing the ball out of his hands. He was getting the ball. He just was not. He was not physically the same guy he was during the regular season. Really, the same guy till he got the LCL sprain. And really that happened game 3 against Brooklyn. So for majority of the playoffs, majority of the playoffs, he was playing, not full capacity, and which is what they needed. And if I'm going to be consistent on my my freaking what do I call it? My criteria on what it takes to win a championship. Well, that was the second one, health, right? I said talent, health, experience, and continuity. And I said in that order. And that's to me is the 4 things that you need, and that's an order of importance. You need it over your opponent. To me, I feel comfortable giving them the experience edge, although it's close. But I would probably give them the slight experience edge. And I felt the talent edge could be there if Embiid was healthy, because I feel like he would be far and away the best player. And I think that Philly had higher top end talent. They just didn't have the depth that Boston had, right? But Embiid was not physically, that he wasn't the same guy, so he couldn't be the clearly best player in the series. And fortunately for the Sixers, the best player in the series, really, at least in the wins, was Harden, right?
I agree.
And so like
For at least two of them.
yeah, two of them, and he played good in one of them. But like I guess Embiid
Yeah.
was the player in Game 5. Yeah, Embiid was the player in Game 5.
Mhm.
But that was like a collective. Everybody played well, and but like that's not what you're going into that series. You're expecting, if you're going to a series and you know that you're going to get that out of Harden, even with the bad performances, you think the Sixers are probably going to win the series. But you're not expecting to have this version of Embiid. But of course, it's become a theme for his career is just not being healthy almost every playoffs he's not healthy, or he's hindered in some way, trying to play through something that has him less than optimal form, and you can't you can't afford to like not have him be that 30-point type scorer, efficient and dominant. He can't be giving up, like he can't be having moments where he's not producing as far as scoring goes, and because that's going to fall Harden at this stage. Harden can't be the number one guy that's going to carry your team especially against this Celtics team for the course of a series. He just physically doesn't have it anymore to be that guy. But could he be the second best player? I absolutely think he could, and I think they could have won this series still. Now, none of that's going to matter because Game 7, the fraud allegations are extreme right now. No matter what he did, even though he had some amazing performances, some all-time great performances, that Game 7 is going to overshadow everything because they given the situation, they overperformed, and now he underperformed. He got them. Nobody expected them to be up 3-2. First of all, so he underperformed Game 6 as well. Nobody expected them to have a situation to close the series out in Game 6, and so building up everybody's expectations and then letting it down. Yeah, most people are still gonna put that on Harden more than they're gonna put it on anybody else. It's just funny how that works out. Like this man, like
can't win, man.
Yeah, can't win for trying, man. He would have been better off just getting blitzed in Game 1. Dead ass.
Better probably getting swept.
He would have had the excuse of Embiid ain't healthy.
Oh.
But because think about it, if they lose Game 1, Embiid comes back Game 2, they got the whole team got blitzed, they got destroyed, nobody played good. They lose Game 2, they go down 0-2, then they lose, Game 3, they're basically down 3-0. Maybe they come out and they have that crazy clutch Game 4, but it's a wrap.
Salute, man.
It's a wrap, right? So yeah, that's it is kind of funny how that works. But what's now I will say this, in retrospect, we're gonna see how this playoff finishes up. But I still think that could have been the NBA Finals. We're gonna see. But there's a very strong possibility that the Celtics, if they are the team that they were expected to be going into the playoffs this year, they could end up going all the way, winning the championship, and they may not go 7 games the rest of the way. And now I know you ain't. I know you ain't gonna like that. Well, you might like that actually.
Nah,
I don't. On your allegiances over here, like I don't know if you're a Laker fan or a Tatum fan now.
I can be both, man. I can be both. It just so happens he plays for the.
But yeah, can you though?
For the rival organization, I can root for his because like I told you before, I don't care about the Celtics' success unless it is like a Game 6 situation where it's Tatum sticking it up and then he saves them, then he gets all the glory. But if Tatum goes out there and drop 40, 50 and they lose, I don't care. You know what I'm saying? Salute Jalen, salute y'all pulling up. But yeah, we talking about the Sixers and the Celtics. Yeah, this series was crazy. Like I felt like the swing in legacy talk was ridiculous from games 5 to Game 7.
What a difference a day makes, man. What a difference a day makes. Literally, day to day, it was like this person's a fraud. This person's overcoming the allegations. Their legacy has been cemented.
It's like Harden was overcoming the fraud allegations, and Tatum was falling out the top 10. He was falling out the top 15. He was a fraud. He's inconsistent. He's this. He's that. And then 48 hours later, Tatum. Arguably the best player in the league, and then Harden and Embiid once again frauds. So it's Yeah, I don't know. It's crazy. I'm not really one to just kill Harden per se for this playoff series. Even though I thought there were areas and games that he could
I
have been
kill him
better.
for the game. I kill him for is Game 6. Game
Yeah.
6 is the one I kill him for. Game 7 is kind of like they all just were like pretty
Yeah,
much
like
ass.
by the time that second, well, he wasn't good in the first half,
He wasn't good in the first half, but like
by the time the
yeah,
second half came, the blitz was insane, and
yeah.
they couldn't like their defense was bad and their offense was nowhere, couldn't even keep up. I think they scored 10 points in that third quarter.
Yeah, they scored 10 points. It
They scored,
was nasty.
yeah, they scored 10 points. Now you're right. The narrative, one game, one playoff game, it changes everything. But yeah, I more so I look at Joel Embiid. Like if I'm a rank who's at fault for the Sixers, I'm gonna say Embiid first. I'm gonna say Harden, then I'm gonna say Doc Rivers. The reason I say Embiid first is every single year this dude is his playoffs translation isn't there, and it's not because his play or whatever. It's mainly because of health, and you cannot rely on this dude being healthy in the playoffs. Like it's insane.
Yeah,
And
it's become a Chris Paul situation very well
yeah,
to a different degree.
but even yeah, but I think it may be worse than Chris Paul because at least
It
like
is,
because Chris Paul like it's not every year for him. Like and he has some
yeah.
good
He's had
playoff
some
runs.
years
Yeah,
exactly. Like it's literally like every year where it's
bro,
like
and yeah, and it's so unfortunate for him, but he's just not. He still has yet to get out the second round. I mean, yeah, past the second round, and being an MVP, showing up like that in the game 7, that's just unacceptable. Like I don't know what other word to put with that. Harden, I do want to give Harden his props because I didn't think he could give you two virtuoso performances, like Ticket say, two
yeah. As
virtuosos.
soon as you said that, that's the first thing I thought.
Yeah,
I'm like,
he gave you 2 of them, and that was huge for them. Like in game 1, like they got the split, cool, and in game 4, he was great. He was. I think he may have been better than he was in game 1, actually.
nah,
Like
he was. That was his
yeah,
best game.
that game winner. It was.
That was the best game of the year, honestly, because he was
Yeah,
clutch down the stretch, clutching the
it was great. But my thing is like the dub performances make me raise an eyebrow from Harden. They wasn't acceptable. Specifically game 3 and game 6. Because I felt like game 3, like that game was for the taking. Game 6, that game was for the taking. And Harden was super passive in both of those games.
Yeah,
And
game 3 was game 3 was one where he was like just OD
yeah,
passing up
he started to
so many
turn it
shots.
on at the end, but it was just like it was
Yeah.
too late. Yeah, he like at the very end he tried to turn it on, and it's just it makes me think like, and so now they eliminated. We just got a notification today that Doc has been fired. And what do you think is next for Philly? Somebody who follows them closely. Doc is gone. Everybody knows James Harden. All the rumors of him possibly going to Houston. What do you think is next?
I mean, I got to see who they hire as their next coach, but yeah, I think that most likely Harden's going to be moving on. The Houston thing, I think, heavily depends on what they get. Who like this lottery coming up tonight?
Mm-hmm.
Who the pick's going to be? I think that's going to determine if that's even going to be a possibility. Because if we get the number 2 pick, we better get Scoot. That's who I want to get. We better get Scoot if we get the number 2 pick. And if that's the case, don't even look at trying to get Harden back here. If you end up with the number 1 pick, then I can see a possibility. If you get Wemby, you could have Harden come back here, be a facilitator because he still is a very good playmaker. And for Jalen and Swimmer, he would make things easier offensively for them. So I can see in that sense. But like it would probably be like he'd be coming here to like play out his career and retire probably or something at that point. I don't think I would say still not give him like a max, but you can give him like maybe like a $30 million a year or something like that, which he could easily get to me because like you look at the guys getting 30 million a year, it's like Jordan Poole, Jaren Jackson Jr., freaking what's his name? It's guys like at that level that I feel like he's definitely better than. But yeah, so it just depends. But around that, if it's around that price, I could see it as a possibility. I don't really know what he wants at this point. If he's still trying to win, he could definitely go and hop on a contender. I'm sure somebody's gonna give him that level of a contract to be like a second fiddle or whatever like that. But yeah, I also know if he's gonna be back there in Philly, given how they went out again. Even though he had like some great performances, like it's gonna.
Wait, I was just gonna ask you, like, you still think Harden, from what we seen in this playoffs and throughout the season, you think he can go to a certain team and be a second guy behind a superstar on a championship contender?
I think so. But like it would have to be like it just depends on the team. Like I feel like because I honestly think it would have worked out this year if Embiid was healthy. I still think that the Embiid we got in the playoffs was not close to the MVP level, and you could see it. You could see that he was being hindered by the injury. Still, the performance he ended up having, it was disgusting. but I could tell like the way he was going up for some of these shots with Al Horford going on after he was abusing this fool during the season. Like the Al Horford thing was a wrap until he had the injury. Then we saw I saw multiple in that game 4. I had never seen Embiid have that happen to him. Even though he played good or like in the first 3 quarters, he hadn't had Horford didn't do that to him all season. Like
he was blocking his shot.
He blocked his shot like three straight times, and he could barely get up off the ground. And then like even in like the game 6 and game 7, like he was like struggling to get his shot up on Horford, like in the paint and like but he was barely getting any lift. And he was settling for like these terrible fadeaways. Like it wasn't even like the normal type of mid range that he hits. Like he was, it was like, so I could tell that he wasn't the same dude. But yeah, it just depends on the situation. But yeah, like as far as like him going there somewhere to be the best player, absolutely not. Second best player I can still see, and yeah, I would welcome him back given the right situation, depending on how this draft goes. But that's highly dependent upon what pick we get. So we'll see what he wants to do, because I'm sure there's some teams out there that'll be willing to still take him on. Especially, I mean, he's still an elite playmaker. So
yeah, I think like the fit with him and Embiid worked well. It worked great. It's unfortunate Embiid got hurt again. I'm not so sure that they actually run it back, just given Doc got fired and Embiid's injury history. It's like every year, like this year, the LCL, last year, the broken face, and I think he was playing through a torn meniscus or something like that, if I'm not mistaken.
Last year he had broken orbital fracture in his face, and he had like a torn
his hand. And I think maybe the year before that was a torn meniscus or something like that.
Against Atlanta, Atlanta. He was playing the whole series on a torn meniscus.
Yeah, playing on the torn meniscus. So it's like, yeah, I don't know. But if I had to bet, I would say that he'll be back. Just given his relationship with Daryl Morey, it seems like Embiid wants him back. I won't be shocked if they go get Mike D'Antoni, somebody who James Harden is familiar with.
I could see him being back. Like I got to see what the contract's going to be. I can see him being back, but I think that's highly dependent.
I don't think Harden was too fond of Doc personally, as a coach. At least some of the reports. But I think if he comes back to Houston, I think he's coming to wrap it up. That's my thing, because it's because Houston, even if they do get Victor Wembanyama, even if they do, like I don't think they in contention. I think Harden, at the stage of his career, he sacrificed. Like he's went to teams, he's taking pay cuts. He wants to win. So I can't say that he doesn't want to win. Unless he
decides to come to Houston.
Yeah. Then it seems he just want to wrap up his career in the place that he spent most of his time. He got like businesses and everything out here, so maybe
Yeah.
maybe that's that's something he want to do, but yeah. So I don't know. Yeah. So, but if I had to bet on it, I'll say that he stays.
Yeah.
So we want to talk about the
Let's get into your Lakers, man. They
no
moving on
no
to the no.
no not yet, not yet. I want to let's talk about the Suns.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if did we touch on them last episode? I don't
We
think so.
touched on them a little bit, but they were still technically alive. They still had
Yeah,
things.
they were still alive.
Yeah, they had like
Yeah.
one. They had just
So
gotten smacked, but
yeah. So the Suns, they just got throttled in the elimination game on back-to-back years. Chris Paul was out. DeAndre Ayton was out.
no surprise there.
And a few days after that, they fired Monty Williams, their coach.
Which I was a little bit surprised about
Yeah.
that. Yeah, I didn't see that one coming.
Yeah, I was a bit surprised. I don't think that was fair. And my thing, the reason I say that is because I feel like, and I know they got new ownership and everything.
That's the only reason why I think. Yeah.
Yeah. But I feel like they put two. And I know you trade for these players, you pay them all this money to win the championship. Don't get me wrong, but in a mid-season trade with so much depth like gone from your team, and you have key players like Chris Paul and DeAndre Ayton hurt, I think you put a lot of expectations on Booker, Durant, and Monty Williams. I don't know why people continue every time Durant joins a team, people put this astronomical expectation on him to be this Goliath, this Godzilla to carry a team. And I think that's just super unrealistic of any player, not just KD, but a lot of times they do it to KD. And I don't think that's right, especially him playing coming back from that Achilles injury, because he isn't exactly the same player, even though he's still great. And he wasn't great in every game in this Nuggets series. Don't get me wrong. I'm not excusing him from blame for that. But there are reasons for that. The roster was not constructed well, especially with two out calling DeAndre Ayton. And to fire Monty Williams because of their shortcomings wasn't right to me. So yeah, the firing shocked me. I thought he would at least get another year or be able to start the season, see how that goes. But yeah,
I think a lot of it too was like
was
things that were out of his control. Yeah, like it was a quick change mid-season to get KD in there. You didn't really have the pieces like you built around them, and also like the way they went out last year. I can't put that on him at all either. They just got that was a choke job straight up. Like you up 2-0, and the way they end up performing. I mean, part of it goes, it's just I don't see that he underperformed in his job role or like did anything like as far as like play calling or I don't see him his issues as a coach or something that like limited them. I guess you can maybe talk about the DeAndre Ayton thing, but that's like I feel like a lot of this falls on Ayton because he was just like not showing up, and we'll see what happens with him going forward because this was another like ending season disaster kind of for him. And but yeah, that was a surprise for sure. I'm very curious to see like this how this is going to work going forward with KD. I mean, KD and Booker should be, but like with Chris Paul, like how much longer is he going to really keep going out there, keep running the bet?
They fired a few people within the front office as well. If you were James Jones, like, what do you do? And it has been rumored that that Harden wants to be in Phoenix as well. So I don't know what you think about that.
Who reported that? I didn't even see the.
I just saw
like
it
a
on
Woj or Shams thing.
I just I saw it on Twitter. I'm not sure, but
I'm very
he's
curious.
he's interested in Phoenix. I heard.
Suns can get. I'm dead. Rumors. I don't even know if this is legit. It's like rumors: Chris Paul to the Lakers, James Harden to the Suns. How you feeling about CP3? He finally can the Lakers can finally get him now.
Not now.
Man.
Yeah. So me personally, I would probably move off Aiden and Chris Paul. Chris Paul is getting older. If you can get something for that contract, I think you do it. You need I think you need a younger, more consistent, less injury prone point guard. You need a reliable rim protector, and a guy with a high motor as your center, and you need more reliable wings, like depth. Like that's what you need. Like they were missing a lot of depth. They traded away Bridges, Cam Johnson, and they brought in KD, which that's I'll say that's a fairly even trade, but you weren't deep at all. So that's a huge factor for the Suns to get better this offseason. I wonder who will be their next coach. I'm not sure who they said they were interviewing. I think Mark Jackson was interviewing for the Bucks job, which was pretty interesting in itself. But yeah, I think you have to. You can still build around Durant and Booker, fill out the rest of the roster, complementary depth, defense, and I think you can run it back with that duo and give them like a real fair shot. And it was just unfortunate that Monty got the quick hand. And I think teams quick to move off coaches because they don't like it made me just like a money thing. Like I'm not about to move off this player this quick because he make $30-some million, but this coach only makes like $5, $6, $7 million. So it's it's easy to try to cut and get somebody else to replace him. And I thought Monty was a pretty good coach. There's a lot of times I thought he could have been better, but I feel like he should have got another chance at least with this squad, with this duo that they have.
Yeah, I mean, like they had their best season in forever under him. So
yeah, but they could say it was like they kind of got worse. They made the finals, then they made
that's true.
It was the semifinals where they lost in 7. Semifinals again, lost in 6, even after getting KD. But I don't know. Maybe it's the new ownership. He wants things.
That's honestly what I think it is. He just wants to clean slate on everything. Probably
he wants to hire his own coach. Won't necessarily surprise me if he gets another GM. So that's I don't know. Would you? How would you feel about Harden going to the Suns?
Man, I might even try to think about that right now. I mean, they would be offensively. I think, yeah, of course, it would be a great fit. Like he'd have, with Book and KD. Of course, that's like an embarrassment of riches offensively. Like they could be another version of what the Nets were trying to be in 2021. Although Booker is better than Kyrie, I don't think that's a debate. So it's like, but yeah, I don't know about like them. Like, I got to see like what pieces they can round out the roster with defensively. But yeah, I'm trying like wrapping my head around seeing that like another like big three kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean it'll essentially be what it was in Brooklyn. If Booker as the scoring guard next to the playmaker Harden, and then KD is KD. Do they But it's interesting though. Like, do they follow that blueprint of big three? This be top heavy, or do they go more the balanced route?
Yeah, that's the thing. I feel like if they try to do that top heavy thing, I just feel like it's more likely to fail because KD. I mean, Harden's shown somewhat at this stage as well, but like the injury factor, I feel like we've seen it now like 3 years in a row, 4 years in a row, whatever it's been. Yeah, I feel like that's going to be like you're putting so much on those guys to have to be able to carry the load and be available and to be able to play the bulk of the season without going down for any extended amount of time. If they do, like any of those guys get hurt, which they honestly, all three of them, even Booker's had some injury issues, then it's like it's a disaster. Mid-season, it could be a disaster, and you're not going to really have no recourse to like have the necessary pieces to shoulder the load and to keep things going, stay winning at a high rate. I mean, I can honestly see that happening, but I don't think they should do it. I think they should try and like see what they can get in the draft. Try and get some more like 3-and-D type guys. See what's available in that realm. Try and flush out the roster. But I don't think that they should do anything like. I don't think they should go for Harden, honestly. Like I think too many things have to break right from a health perspective for them to take that risk. But they might, it might still end up happening. We're gonna see what the deal is that's gonna be on the table.
All right, so we are now in the conference finals. It's exciting. We getting down to the end of it, but before we get into the game, I mean these last remaining teams, we got to talk about your boy, Andrew, and that's Ja Morant, aka Ja Warren, aka Ja Week.
Once again, man, tripping.
Once again, the kid did it again.
Man. And what's crazy is like this dude tried to cut away so fast. The first time I saw it, I didn't even actually realize until I saw the screenshot.
Hey Andrew, look, I want you to slow the video down.
Oh man, this is wild.
Yeah. So look, before he yeah. So wait, pause it right quick.
All right.
Yeah. So and people were trying to say, oh, his friend saved him and all this. His friend, dead ass, looked at Ja, saw he had the gun in his hand. I'm not giving Ja a pass or anything. This is 100% his fault. He's doing. But before we get into Ja, I just wanted to say, his friend looked at Ja with the gun, put the camera on him, then turn back. Lee, you can play it. You can see what happened. I don't even know why he pulled it out. Like why he do the hand?
Hold up, I didn't even realize this dude even did the gun. Gun style.
He did.
Come on, man. Oh man. I saw this shit going way too slow. I think it's about to happen.
Look. Look at him. Camera on him. Like, dude. So
suspended from all activities.
So what you think about this though? Wait.
Let me cut this out.
So what you think about this, Drew?
I mean, he just like he's not gonna learn, I guess, until he faces some serious consequences. Like, I think some of this, yeah, you could put a lot of people want to put the blame on the friend, sure, but like, what are you doing? Like, you know this dude's recording. You know he got a camera up. Like, don't even take the chance. Don't even like allow the
he
possibility.
looked at the dude that was on live, and he still pulled the gun out.
Yeah, like, and the dude even did like a little gun symbol before he did that. And like, I guess like maybe he thought the dude wasn't gonna record him because he knew, but it's still like, don't even risk the chance of him possibly turning the camera and catching you for a glance. Like, don't even, why even have the gun out? Like, what are you doing? Like, what's the point? Like, what's the point of having a gun out there unless you trying to make it be seen, right? Like, because you're putting on a front for somebody. Like, you want it to be seen, right? So it's like, because you're not about to actually use it. So you holding it up so it can be seen, but why? Like, it doesn't even like. I saw somebody say something. It was killing me. It was like kids watch the NBA to be like John Morant, and and John Morant watches The Wire to be like Marlo. I don't know if you ever seen The Wire.
No, I don't watch it. But I seen some of the comparisons. Like it's a dude like with braids or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's got a bunch of prominent actors that were in that show.
Oh, okay.
But like Idris Elba, Michael B. Jordan when he was younger, he was in there.
Oh,
but
no, I ain't never watched it.
No, it's a really good show, but he's tripping though. Like it's like I guess like he wants to be seen as like I guess hard or a thug or whatever. Like he wants to be like viewed in that light, but like bro, like you a millionaire. What are you doing? Like you in the NBA, you have a career like ahead of you right now.
And I feel like because I think last episode we talked about the All NBA teams. I feel like he missed out on All NBA due to
absolutely
the situation.
I definitely think so.
Yeah, earlier in the season, and that costed him like $40 million or something like that. Like I don't know. I'm like at first I was when it first happened the first time. I kind of felt bad for him. I mean, he made a mistake. I mean, I know he got his suspension, rightfully so, and everything. But you know, feel like he bounced back. He learned from it. You know, he gonna not let that happen again. And it happened again. And now, like, I'm not even. I don't feel bad. I'm just like, I'm almost like mad in a way because it's like, bro, you really tripping. You fucking this up for yourself. And I don't know. It's unfortunate. And I asked you the other day, I was like, over under 40 games suspended. Like, how many games you think it'll be?
Yeah, because I think I would be surprised if it's honestly. I think it's gonna be 10 or less. I think it's gonna be 10 or less. But I would be surprised if it's like more than 15. I mean, honestly, I'm not even gonna say it's gonna be that much. I think it's gonna be less than 10 games. So. If he does get suspended, which I feel like the NBA's got to do something because a lot of people feel like they just did a slap on the wrist the first time, and now it's like he clearly didn't take it serious. And it's not like I know a lot of people are saying, oh, like, you know, he didn't break any law. He could do what he wants, but it's not even about that. Like this became an issue. It's all about the NBA. A lot of it's about just the image and shit like that. Like they whether or not you want to be a role model, you expect it to be a role model, right?
Exactly.
And so
and he's I forgot who he's with. Nike now. He got a signature shoe. He's with Poway, another company who hasn't even like had a signature athlete. I can't even realize I actually seen a Poway commercial until Ja got one. So yeah, man, I hope the best for him, but he got to learn from this stuff. So we'll see how the punishment comes down. But it's gonna be a suspension from the Grizzlies, right? Not from the NBA. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So they suspended him from all Grizzlies related activities. So, but that's not really much of anything, really. I guess the off season, like I guess he just can't go to the facility. He can't, you know, whatever. But I think something else is coming down. We're gonna see. But I feel like Silver probably gonna do something.
I gonna make an example out of him.
All right.
Okay, so yeah, in the conference finals, and we had to give our predictions for these the bubble rematches coming up. 2020, the Lakers played the Nuggets in the conference finals, and the Heat played the Celtics in the conference finals. And now we back to that. No, I'm gonna start first.
Go ahead.
I think this series is gonna be great. There are advantages on both sides. I think the Lakers are great defensively. Nuggets are great offensively. My pick is Nuggets and psych. Crazy. Lakers and 6. I would never pick the Nuggets. I don't care if they had Michael Jordan, Larry Bird, Isaiah Thomas, Kareem, Dr. J, Kobe, whoever. Lakers and 6. But nah. Get some analysis on the series. I think it'll be important for the Lakers to be of course, defensively, they have to continue to play good defense. Contain Jokic. He's unstoppable, I think. Because even if he isn't affecting the game with his playmaking, he can affect it with his scoring, his efficient scoring, and vice versa. But it's important to limit what the defense gives up with Jokic. I think the other day I was doing like some matchup evaluations to see who will be the primary defender on Jokic. I think it'll be AD, but I think they'll probably switch up, have AD roam, protect the rim, and that way he can do what he does best, protect the rim instead of trying to bang one-on-one with Jokic. He can end up in foul trouble.
One of the things I was thinking, because I remember when Philly matched up with them during the regular season, one of the adjustments they made. So they had Embiid guard Jokic to start the game, but then they switched Tucker onto Jokic, and they were able to have Embiid be a roamer guarding Aaron Gordon, but kind of helping off him in the corner so he could still roam around the paint. And that was really effective against Jokic. He had one of his worst, he had a good start to the game, but that second half he got clamped up. Tucker did a good job, and they forced a lot of turnovers on him. And Embiid was really effective, just coming over, helping over from the backside, and really they cut off those driving or the cutting lanes from Eric Gordon to try to get those lobs and those little dump off passes that Jokic likes to find him with. I feel like I would try to do a similar thing, but with LeBron, try and have him in that PJ Tucker role, and have Anthony Davis helping off the corner.
Yeah, and something that makes me think that's more likely. I just got a notification that the Lakers are actually starting Dennis Schroeder today. So I think that gives them a better look offensively than with Jerry Vanderbilt. Jerry Vanderbilt does give you a lot defensively. He'll probably be the point of attack defender on Jamal Murray if he was starting. But now I think that'll be Schroeder. Schroeder is a guy who can be the point of attack defender on Jamal Murray, get around some of those big body Jokic screens, and he's a plus offensive player, not like Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt is a negative. Schroeder is a guy who can run a pick and roll for you, play off the ball, get in transition, get in the paint on Jokic, who isn't a good rim protector. So I think that's a good move by Darvin Ham. They started Dennis Schroeder today, so we'll see how that works. But I think it's important for the Lakers not only to try to contain Jokic on offense, even if he is hooping on offense. It's cool. He's a great player, arguably the best player in the league. You have to make him work defensively. You have to involve him in every action, whether it be if he's guarding Anthony Davis, whether he's roaming. Make him work. Go at him. Make him want to block your shot. Make him play the pick in the roll or the pick in the pop with AD. Make him move his feet. Have him fatigue. Get him in foul trouble. That's important for you because everything Denver, they have good role players. They have Jamal Murray, who's a fantastic player. have a good coach. Everything goes through Jokic for the Nuggets in terms of the offensive production. So I think that's extremely key. Go at him, go at him, go at him for the Lakers to win this series, and I think they will. On the other hand, Jokic, man, he's a phenomenal player. I think him and Jamal Murray have one of the best pick and rolls in the league. Jamal, he turns up in the playoffs. He's hooping. So, you know, it'll be important for them to utilize that pick and roll. They have efficient shooters around them. They have like a KCP and Michael Porter Jr. and especially Porter Jr. I remember I hit you the other day. I was like, man, Porter Jr. ain't never met a shot he ain't like. As soon as he catches it, man, he flaming that. So, but yeah, I think the Lakers will do that. It definitely tells me that they will attack Jokic. Given that they started Dennis Schroeder today, so it gives them better offense because they started Dennis Schroeder in the last game versus the Warriors in that game 6 that they won. So I think that's important. So yeah, that's who I got. I got the Lakers in 6.
I actually agree with I think you hit the same thing I did, didn't you?
My fault.
Yeah. No, but yeah, we hit the exact same time. But no, I actually agree. I think Lakers in 6 as well. I think like this is just like this is a matchup I feel like they're built for. The X factor in this series is going to be, I think, of course, you know, the altitude in Denver. Like that is a legit home court. I feel like they need. I feel like the Nuggets need Jamal Murray to maybe be their best scorer maybe in this series. He needs to like go off. He needs to have like a real Bubble Murray kind of moment.
Who needs to be? Oh, you said Jamal?
Yeah. And it may not be like not from an efficiency standpoint, but he needs to like, you know, maybe he needs to drop 30 this series. He maybe needs to average something like that. I feel like he needs to go crazy because so much is going to be asked of Jokic defensively. I feel like he already has to do a lot offensively and like so much runs through him, but if I feel like the Lakers are built to try and attack him so much on the other end, and they're going to. I feel like it would just be malpractice if these dudes don't try and put him in every action they can, especially with LeBron and the Anthony Davis pick and roll. And he's going to be probably averaging like 5 kickballs a game because we know this man that's his defense.
He's literally stick his foot out instead of
exactly. So they gotta really make him kick as many times as possible because you want to wear him out this series. Make him guard in space, make him have to get LeBron going downhill and like just put him in those situations again and again and again. Because you know that he's going to be working a lot on the other side. So I would do that. I feel like that's just like they're built to be able to do that better than obviously better than the Suns were. And because the playmaking factor that LeBron has as well. Yeah, I just feel like I feel like this could be potentially an easier matchup than the last series, possibly. So we'll see. But yeah, I got Lakers in 6 as well.
I hope so.
But now, of course, like I said, there's a huge factor with with playing in Denver. We got to see how the Lakers look. But if they could steal that first game tonight, that's gonna go a huge way. So
yeah, man, a little sick right now, but yeah, I think it's important to get one of these games on the road for us. You don't want to go back home 0-2. I mean, series technically isn't over, but you definitely put yourself in a must-win situation when you go back home down 0-2. So, yeah, man, this series gonna be fun. I wouldn't be surprised if the Nuggets win. I wouldn't be surprised if they win it all, and I wouldn't be mad at to see Big Joke get him one. Coach Malone, Jamal, all them.
I would be surprised if they win it all. I don't know if I'd be surprised if they win this series. If they win this series, I think it's going 7, maybe. We'll see. But I still feel like the Lakers just have the matchups in their favor. And But if they do get this series, I do still think that we'll see. I mean, I think that Boston's gonna they should roll over Miami. And I
Well,
think
since you bringing it up, we can go ahead segue to the other 2020 bubble rematch.
yeah.
The Celtics versus the Heat. The Heat, man, they weren't supposed to be here. They almost got eliminated in the play-in. Now we're in a rematch from last season, actually, not just 2020, last season. The Eastern Conference Finals, Celtics and the Heat. And give your take. I heard you just say you picked the Celtics.
Yeah. I also know if the Heat have enough. I feel like the Tyler Hero thing is going to be a factor finally. It hasn't been yet, but the Knicks exposed themselves as frauds. I feel like they do have
Julius Randle.
yeah. They don't. Yeah, they're missing some of what they had last year. Now their shooting did kind of turn on during this postseason run, but Tucker was big for them in that playoff run last year, and in that Celtics series. I feel like they're going to be able to slow up Jimmy enough. He's gonna have at least one big game in him probably. I feel like this could go 6, but I'm leaning Celtics in 5. I feel like them coming out of the series that they just had. I think that this is going to be something like they're going to come out this game 1, this first game. They're going to come out and like set a tone. I feel like that was a wake up call. How close that they were in a position, elimination games back to back. And I feel like if they could get up on the Heat, they could really put them in a situation where it's like, they could start pressing some of those guys, some of those role players, because they've been playing kind of in front. They've been playing very comfortable, both of these first 2 series, and Jimmy has played consistently. If they go down and they're going back in Miami, let's say they're going back Miami down 0-2. I feel like that's a strong possibility, and so yeah, I'm gonna go with the Celtics in 5. But what are you feeling on this series? Let's see. I mean, is Jimmy gonna prove everybody wrong again?
Man, hey, now I love to see that, but I can't.
Oh yeah, we know you love to see it because you know full well that this is the team that is the biggest threat.
Yeah,
definitely to knock that off. Honestly,
yeah. And it'll be a conflict of interest watching the NBA Finals, to say the least. But I had to second exactly what you said. Celtics in 5. I just feel like they're the better team, missing their second scorer, Tyler Hero, a key piece, who I think they say he could return only if the Heat make the finals. So you wouldn't be back this series. The Heat have shooting the ball really well. I think it tapered off a bit, but it didn't matter because, like you just said, the Knicks frauds, Julius Randle, RJ Barrett, they out of there. Boston, even though their series, Philly was a great team, but the fact that Embiid was hurt and that series still went 7 give me some cause to pause. The fact that they went 6 with the Hawks kind of give me some cause to pause as well, especially with the suspension of DeJounte Murray. That series still went 6. But nevertheless, I still have to take the Celtics. They're the home team. No. I said 5. I mean 6. Celtics and 6. That's my pick. Celtics and 6. I feel like Jason Tatum, arguably the best player in the league. No, just
Cap. I'm like, hold up.
Yeah, nah. He had a very up and down series last series versus Philly, but he closed it out really well. That could be some momentum going into this next series, and with the mindset that see what happens when you start well. Your team looks like that. And
even Tatum wasn't bold enough to. Now I'm just remembering what he said. Like he said I'm one of the best players in the league.
Yeah.
Even he wasn't bold enough to be like I'm the best player in the league.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Yeah, and I think
like of course you're one of the best players in the league.
Yeah,
like,
and that's good. That's a good mindset to have, especially when you struggling. How he struggled in that game 6 because he was awful, shooting the ball until he saw one to fall, then he saw another one, then another one. So you gotta be consistent as far as your aggression, and that's what he did. And I think he was right on to speak on how good he is to continue to be aggressive. But going into the series, I just don't think Miami has enough. Like Boston is probably the only team I think that's deeper than the Lakers remaining in the playoffs, and I don't think Miami can match that level. Jimmy would have to go like Super Saiyan.
He would have to do what he did against Milwaukee, honestly.
Yeah, he got to go Super Saiyan for him to win the series. And I think, with everybody healthy, of course, I don't think. I think Boston has the firepower to mitigate that. So that's why I'm at Celtics in 6. I think they'll close it out, and I think we'll have a battle for 18 in a couple weeks between the Lakers and the Celtics.
Hey, that's what they've been promoting on the low key, like all playoffs.
Hey,
banner 18, battle for 18.
But I think I don't know. People was kind of like ignoring it because they didn't think the Lakers gonna get here from being in the play-in, and
I didn't really see it being like that big of a thing until the playoffs started, and I'm like, I didn't even think about it. I'm like, damn, now I'm seeing this like everywhere. Like both of them got 17 championships or whatever. But all I gotta say is, let's watch this Nuggets Lakers series close. Now,
hey, but they got I forgot who they said ref in the game, but it's the
all right. Which game Foster got on this Lakers Nuggets series? Oh man.
What'd you say?
Nah, I was playing like, I'm like, which game has Foster got in this Lakers Nuggets series? But because he gonna have a pivotal swing game.
Yeah, but I think the guy that's reffing today is the Celtics fan. Is the Celtic? He is a Celtics fan, but that ref that didn't call that foul when the Lakers played the Celtics early in the season,
when LeBron had
when Tatum smacked, he gave LeBron a freaking
had a classic moment
on his arm, and the ref didn't call it. But yeah, that's we'll see how these refs do. But I don't want to hear none of that when we attacking Jokic and he can't keep up and we at the free throw line. I don't want to hear none of that shit because that's what we do. All right, man. The draft lottery is coming up in a few minutes.
Yes, sir. I'm gonna need. You already know what I want.
So wait, what? I know you want to be the number 2 because you want to escape the.
I know it sounds stupid, and I've been telling this to everybody. Yeah, I like.
Go ahead, explain that. Go ahead, explain.
Yeah, I just don't. Like, I would love for Wembanyama to realize his full potential, and for us, and that would be amazing if he could be this generational prospect. I just don't think it's going to happen. And it's not that I'm talking down on his ability as a basketball player or his skill set, because the potential of his skill set is ridiculous. It's just that I don't buy him being that rare 1 in a million exception that's not going to have the crazy injury derailed career that we've seen so many 7'3", 7'4", 7'5" guys have. With that kind of build, and I feel like it's a guarantee he's gonna have injury issues. He's already had injury. I've said this before, and we know a lot of people don't know this, but he's already had injury issues already in his young career, overseas, internationally. He's missed a lot of games. Like he broke his foot, he broke his leg. People don't really talk about it that much, but this is something that's happened, and. He's actually, I think he was playing tonight. They had a game tonight, like during the lottery. They might be still playing right now. And his team they had a game. I saw it going on. I don't know if it's still going on.
Right, I thought they said that he was going to be at the draft lottery. Maybe I'm tripping.
No, he was playing a game. But yeah, I just don't trust because it's something that we see consistently over the decades. Guys like him getting hurt. And being a Rockets fan, seeing this and knowing the history, knowing about Ralph Sampson, who had a similar build, 7'4", and
Yeah, I
got injuries.
mean,
Yeah, so I think what Ralph Sampson had 2 like legit years, and then his career got derailed by injuries, right? And he had a very similar kind of build to Wembanyama. Yao Ming, we know what 7'6", so he's like I think even taller than Wembanyama. Now, of course, he actually had a better build, but he still ended up having he maybe got a little too big, but I don't think it's really on that. I think it's being at that size already puts you at great risk. And he had foot issues, he had knee issues, and his career got cut short. I think he only played in the league for like 6 years. I want to say, 2009 he got dropped. Yeah, so 2009 he had that knee injury against the Lakers in the semifinal, and then he came back the next year, was never the same. Couldn't even play that full season, and he had to retire. And we see guys like Embiid right now, who's really like has like physically like he has a good build, but he's had a lot of injury issues. He's a much bigger guy, but he's only 7'2", so it's like and the way that and it's another thing for me that it's the way that Wembanyama plays, like the way he plays. I feel like it's going to open him up to have greater possibility to get hurt. And so for me, I just to be on the safe side. And here's the thing: I know that there's no way, and I can't even. Oh, whack.
what's that?
No, I was trying to share from this. I guess they won't let you share screen on this. What I was watching it on.
On that site?
Well, no, because I'm actually watching it from a legit source.
Oh, yeah. That's when you remember when I was trying to show the game that time, yeah.
But yeah, like they let me see if I can check an alternative way real quick.
But real quick, I know you was talking about the Rockets.
Yeah.
Where do you like, other than the Rockets, where would you like to see Wembanyama go? You have to pick a team.
Probably San Antonio. But like now, as a Rockets fan, I don't want to see him go there. Well, actually, you know what? Maybe I do want to see him go there because I just don't think it's gonna happen. I don't think it's gonna pan out. But yeah, but like if I had to be like objective and just not keep my personal biases out of it, San Antonio. Yeah, like see how they build around him. I know like we know Pop is a great coach. Like I think that he would have a good structure. Now he wouldn't really have a ton of talent, but we see what they're able to get out of guys there. Like they have some pieces that I can see them developing quickly. So I would say that's a good. They have a good infrastructure. I feel like they're going to be able to build around him fast. If he can stay healthy is a whole nother question. But yeah, like San Antonio, plus like I feel like that's been kind of like he's been kind of linked to them, for a little bit now. A lot of people are, we'll see what happens as far as the pick goes and who gets who gets the number 1 pick. But yeah, I'm gonna say probably San Antonio. Now, if we're talking about just like where would you want to see him go? I'm sure you want to pair him with like another young star, right?
Yeah. Like other than the actually, just real quick, a couple, not last night, but the night before, I had a dream that the Lakers drafted him. Like I don't know, it was insane. I was walking down
this guy.
I was walking down the hill with some friends, like we were just chilling, and I got a notification that the Lakers draft Victor Wembanyama. Like I promised, it was crazy. But I would like to see Victor either with San Antonio. I really like their young core with Keldon Johnson, Devin Vassell, young point guard Trey Jones. They have a young core coming up, and adding him to that with a great structure, to help him like teach him the game the right way. They have a history of drafting, developing, and winning championship with bigs. David Robinson, Tim Duncan, MVPs, defensive player of the years. I think that'd be excellent for him. Also, for like a fan purposes, I would like to see him play with LaMelo. I'm a huge LaMelo fan. the Hornets, and I said it before the season, I would like to see him play with LaMelo. Now, I don't know what kind of organization they have. Michael Jordan, the owner. They have, I forgot who that coach is, Steve Clifford or something like that. So I'm not. It wouldn't be the perfect organization for him to go to say the least. But I would definitely like to see him with LaMelo. I think that'll be because Melo already must see TV. So after adding Victor Wembanyama, it'll be even, it'll take it even up a higher notch. But yeah, I think that'd be the best spots for him. Let me see if I'm trying to did it start yet?
Yeah. It's about to start. They still doing some introduction stuff. I think I might have found let me see if this will work.
I got it right here on can you hear it?
No, I don't hear it, but I think I found a way for us to show it. This is an alternate. Let me see if it'll work.
Let me hold on.
Unless you got one, I think I might have found one.
Yeah, it's right here. It said Portland.
Wrong destination for him, Richard, but you played in the league for 17 years. You won an NBA championship. Let's evaluate his game a little bit.
Well, his game is impressive because the only thing that you could really ask for him to do is game.
Oh, snap. They have it on there? I didn't even know they had it on there. I could show it now.
Right now, he's not as impactful, but where he's lacking in strength, he has a ton of other upsides that everyone should focus on. His ability to block shots and impact in one way. Look at this. This is a play that in all my years of basketball, I've never seen. A guy shoot a three and then be able to tip dunk off of it. He is elite when it comes to so many facets of the game, and I think the entire league has been put
That's
on
him right
notice,
there.
and they are waiting for him.
Well, he also prides himself in being available, right? You can see him there.
They just played though. They just had a game.
To find out where he's headed, but he's played in every game for Metropolitan 92. He is in Paris, but Scoot Henderson of the G League Ignite, Alabama's Brandon Miller, they are here in Chicago. So, Richard, let's talk a little bit about their games, and let's start here with Scoot.
Well, Scoot is so impressive. If you wanted to give a comp,
is anybody trying to get on or no?
Fox, a Russell Westbrook, a Derrick Rose, just an explosive, athletic guard. When you look at his ability to play on both ends of the floor, he could be an elite defender. Think about a Marcus Smart. When you want to pick at him, you would say, hey, look, he needs to improve his shot. He's got good mechanics, but ultimately he looks like he's ready to be an impact guard in this league. And then we're going to switch to Brandon Miller. This man, 6'9", 7'1" wingspan. He can already shoot the three off the dribble. He's a catch and shoot guy. So look, he can play in a system. He could be featured in a system. He's got the elite athleticism, and he's able to really impact the game in multiple areas.
Well, I know that I was hooked watching that game in Las Vegas where Scoot and Victor Wembanyama went head-to-head. And then obviously Brandon Miller, clearly the SEC Player of the Year for a reason. Woj, though, Miller's name did surface in court testimony, right, in a case involving his former teammate and another man who were indicted for capital murder in the fatal shooting of 23-year-old Jamia Harris in January. Now, the University of Alabama has described Miller here as a cooperating witness. How are teams factoring that in?
Malika, teams have already spent a lot of time and resources on that particular event in the background of Brandon Miller. And what I'm getting back from those organizations is not only do they not find anything that they would consider disqualifying to select Brandon Miller, they are finding a young man who they say is mature, focused, whose character and his habits are actually an asset in their evaluation of him. Certainly once the draft board is up and we see who's picking second, third, and fourth, they're going to dig in even more. But right now, Brandon Miller is very much in play to be the second overall pick in this draft.
I mean, clearly he's going to be a top 3 pick here, and it just depends on the needs, as Richard described, of which team falls second and third as to who goes into those spots. And among the prospects in the ballroom tonight, we also have twin brothers. We have Amen and Asar Thompson. They played for the City Reapers of Overtime Elite. They're both very likely to hear their names called early on. So, Richard, let's walk through each of their games.
Well, look, they're two-way players, and yes, they are twins. They are elite at what they do. They both have the athleticism. Amen. Look, when you look at what what he can do. He is a willing passer. If he affects the game on both ends of the floor with his athleticism, his ability to finish. And look, I like the way they play. When you think about the needs for wings, especially 3-and-D players, they can be impact players early on. And Ausar, you see this off the dribble three. I don't see a lot of holes in either of their games. I just see areas of improvement. They can improve their hand, but they have a high basketball IQ. They are willing to play on both ends of the floor. Those are the type of young players that have impacts very early on.
I gotta say, working with your sibling, being in the same space as your sibling, it's a whole lot of fun. With more, Monica McNutt is standing by with both Amen and Ausar Thompson.
I am indeed, Malika. All right, just so the folks know who the twins are, this is Amen and this is Ausar. Gentlemen, one step closer to being able to pencil in where you might land on draft day. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling great. This is a blessing. You know, it's a dream I had since I was young, and it's just the beginning of the dream. And I feel like he feels the same. I'm super excited. You know, I feel super excited. I'm just excited for the process in general. You know?
All right, Ausar, so let's talk about the process. We want to get the scouting reports that you guys have for one another. So Ausar, tell me what teams are getting in Amen, and Amen will come to you second.
You said, okay, so
You can't take my mic.
my bad. I'm sorry.
What are teams getting in your brother?
Teams are getting a super twitchy, athletic player, you know, excellent on defense, amazing facilitator. So, yeah.
Love that. All right. What are teams getting in your brother, Ausar? Amen.
What they getting with Ausar, they're getting a great shot maker, great facilitator, you laugh, great defender, just a great player in general. So any team will be blessed to have that.
I know how important family is to you guys. How special is it that you guys get to share this journey together?
You know, it's super special. I always have someone on my side, someone who's got my back, and someone who just pushes me every day. So there's no one else I'd rather do it with.
Anything to add?
I think you said it perfectly.
Amen Thompson, Ausar Thompson, guys, back over to you.
Monica, thank you so much. We'll see if that friendliness lasts when they're facing off against each other in the league. But let's take a look at the lottery odds for tonight. The Detroit Pistons, the Houston Rockets, San Antonio Spurs. They have the best odds to land that top spot. All three of those teams, they have a 14% chance to walk away with that coveted number one pick. And then you can see the rest of the lottery, how it shakes out here. You can see how the percentages are. And remember, it is not always the team with the highest odds that lands at the top. In 2019, right, the New Orleans Pelicans, they won the lottery with just a 6% chance that year, the pick they used to draft Zion Williamson. Well, the moment we have been waiting for, it is almost here. The representatives of the 14 teams in the lottery, they are taking their seats. And when we come back, it will be time for the lottery order of the 2023 NBA draft to be revealed. That's next. Don't go anywhere.
We got 6 minutes. Woo.
Call 1-800-DIRECTV to get a $200 reward card.
At SimpliSafe, your safety is the only thing that matters. We designed smarter ways to detect motion for fast emergency response. We create HD cameras so you can see what's happening in your home from anywhere. All powered by Fast Protect technology, exclusively from SimpliSafe for faster police response. Because in here, your safety is the only thing that matters. Advanced home security, 24/7 professional monitoring. There's no safe like SimpliSafe.
Welcome back to the 2023 NBA Draft Lottery presented by. And there are also some traits that we need to tell you about. Orlando likely to end tonight with 2 lottery picks, including Chicago's pick. However, if the Bulls move up into the top 4 of tonight's lottery, they will keep that pick. As for the Dallas Mavericks, if their pick slides from 10th, that's where they're projected, and lands anywhere from 11 to 14, their pick will go to New York as a result of the Kristaps Porzingis trade in 2019. Now, the Mavericks, they were heavily fined for intentionally resting players at the end of the regular season to try to protect this positioning. Now it's time to meet the representatives who are on stage tonight. Representing New Orleans is Executive Vice President of Basketball Operations, David Griffin, the man who was on stage in 2019 when the Pelicans won the Zion Williamson lottery. Toronto has sent General Manager Bobby Webster, and representing Oklahoma City is amateur evaluation scout Nick Collison, who spent a record 15 seasons with the franchise. Chicago has sent Dalen Terry, who was the 18th pick in last year's NBA draft, and representing Dallas is General Manager and President of Basketball Operations Nico Harrison. Utah has sent Colin Sexton, who just finished his first season with the Jazz and was the 8th pick in the 2018 draft. And then representing Washington is head coach Wes Unseld Jr. Indiana has sent Tyrese Halliburton, who was selected to his first NBA All-Star game this season. And representing Orlando, head coach Jamal
What shit? Oh shit!
And the Magic were awarded the first pick. They are
Victor
hoping
Wembanyama
to
playing
have
with
similar luck
Tyrese Halliburton would be
tonight.
nice.
Portland has sent Brandon Roy, a 3-time
B-Roy.
NBA All-Star during his tenure with the Blazers, and representing Charlotte, Mark Williams, who was the 15th pick in the 2022 draft. As for San Antonio, they have sent managing partner Peter J. Holt. Houston has sent new head coach Ime Udoka. And finally, representing Detroit is 2004 NBA champion Ben Wallace, who is also a member of the Pistons front office. All right, here we go.
Buddy.
That is NBA Senior Vice President and Chief Security Officer Leon Newsom. He is escorting the only man in this entire ballroom who knows the results of the draft lottery, Mark Dielli from the accounting firm of Ernst & Young, who is delivering the sealed envelopes to the podium. But now, the time has come. Here is the NBA Deputy Commissioner and Chief Operating Officer, Mark Tatum, who will reveal the order of the lottery picks for the 2023 NBA Draft.
Thank you, Malika, and good luck, everyone. The 14th pick in the 2023 NBA Draft, presented by State Farm, will be made by the New Orleans Pelicans.
Pelicans.
The 13th pick belongs to
Y'all got enough top picks. Straight up.
the Toronto Raptors. Pick the 12th will be the Oklahoma City Thunder.
No surprises yet. Picks still going according to form.
The 11th pick in the NBA Draft will go to the Orlando Magic.
Orlando receives this pick from Chicago due to the Nikola Vucevic trade.
Pick number 10 will be made by the Dallas Mavericks.
Dallas will keep their pick. Had it fallen out of the top 10, it would have gone to New York due to the Kristaps Porzingis
Boo.
trade.
The 9th pick goes to
I wish they lost their pick for pulling that
Utah
BS at the end of the
Jazz.
year.
Hey, that was crazy.
the 8th pick will be made by the Washington Wizards. The 7th pick in the NBA draft belongs to the Indiana Pacers.
Ellie.
Pick number 6 goes to the Orlando Magic.
Everything going to form thus far. Only one envelope left before we know the teams in the top 4.
The 5th pick will be made by the Detroit Pistons.
Wow, Detroit fell.
Oh wait, the
all
Bulls
way
don't have a
out.
top 4 pick this year?
Oh shit!
And that means there are 4
Damn.
remaining. Houston, San Antonio, the Charlotte Hornets, and the Portland Trailblazers. But who will walk away with the number 1 pick? Coming up, the drama
Oh, no, it's the Blazers.
continues. We find out the
I think
order
the Bulls weren't
of
in
those
there,
top 4
though.
picks in the 2023 NBA draft. That's when we come.
Damon Terry?
The NBA Draft Lottery is presented by
Oh,
State
maybe
Farm.
the Bulls lose their
State
pick,
Farm
probably?
Personal Price Plan helps you create an affordable price just for you.
Yeah.
They probably don't got their pick. Yeah.
Everything looks so good.
Right? I'm hearing the new
So
Google
Blazers,
Pixel
Rockets,
is really great.
Spurs.
And it comes with
Who was
AT&T's
the
best
fourth
deals on
team
all of
that has a?
This one looks nice.
That's a house
Who was
favorite.
the fourth team? It
And
was
it's your
Blazers,
choice
Rockets,
of
Spurs,
plans. Thank you.
Hornets. Yeah.
There's got to be a catch.
No catch. And no trade-in
Wait.
required either.
I'm not tripping. Oh.
How do you know
Maybe
all
I'm
this?
tripping. I don't know.
I come here a lot. Love the service.
At AT&T, new and existing customers can choose any Google Pixel with your choice of plans and always get our best deal.
Here's your biggie bag. All that food for $5, that's my go-to.
Ooh, that's my ride or die.
Just like you and me. Bag boys. Bag boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when we bring your food?
You can always bet on Biggie. Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's $5 Biggie Bag.
When your family is growing in ways you never expected,
You'd like to be outside the city.
agents who are realtors are here for it. Here for the journey. Here with
Oh, you know what? I
local
think the
knowledge
Bulls.
beyond
I think the
list.
Bulls would have got.
Here for it all.
I think
because
if
that's
another
who we are.
team didn't get it,
Pizza Hut melts are just
the
for
Bulls
you.
would have got it.
Just
Something like that.
$6.99. Enough for 2, price for 1.
Forgot how that works. I
Crispy,
don't know.
cheesy, and
man.
loaded with toppings.
I was about to say it's the Bulls.
Excuse me? Pizza Hut melts. Now with cheesesteak. Just $6.99.
DirecTV is a leader in sports, but Jeff doesn't have DirecTV, so he's watching baseball at his weird neighbor's house.
He's all right.
I love watching the game with you.
Call 1-800-DIRECTV to
Bless
get a
me,
$200
basketball
reward
gods.
card.
Number 2
We
pick.
all
That's
need
what I want.
fiber for our digestive health, but less than 10% of us get enough each day.
Scoot
Good
Henderson,
thing
baby.
Metamucil gummies
That's-
are an
forget
easy
this.
way to
That's
get
just what I want. Scoot
prebiotic
Henderson. I don't
plant-based
even
fiber
care
with
what
the
pick,
same amount of
honestly.
fiber
But
as
I know he's
2
going to
cups
go
of
number
broccoli.
2 most likely.
Metamucil
so.
gummies, the easy way to get your daily fiber.
Do you have an invention idea but don't know what to do next? Go to inventhelp.com. We have representatives nationwide and services to showcase your invention. Get started today. Go to inventhelp.com for free information.
I don't know. I'm not so big on Brandon Miller because I feel like he's more likely to be like a best case.
If you draft Brandon Miller, you basically drafting Jabari Smith.
Yeah, and John Morant too. No.
Oh shit. Hey.
But not. But not on the low. But not. Nah. The reason I don't think he's like. I don't think his potential is going to be
got this
like,
robot
to me,
vacuum
like
for
a
only
best case
$40.
scenario. And it's like the best case scenario
DealDash.com,
to
where
me
deals come
is
true.
he's like
This
he's like a
KitchenAid
Danny
mixer
Granger
sold for less
level
than
player.
$26. This
And I don't
iPad
think
sold
he's
for less
even
than
gonna be that good,
$43.
necessarily.
And this brand new
Um,
Xbox sold
but
for
I'm thinking like
$51.
if everything was to break right, that's the type of player he would be, like Danny Granger. Which Danny Granger is a good player.
for
but, like,
$26.
And shipping
Yeah.
is always free.
But like,
Go to DealDash.com
I would rather
right
have
now and see how
Scoot to
much
me,
you
who
can
I
save.
feel like just way more dynamic. Could be like immediately an instant playmaker. People
Welcome
talk about
back
his
to
lack
the
of 3-point shot, but he's
2023
a good mid-range shooter. Like he could, he has a knockdown midi, and I think he could develop into a good 3-point shooter. Like he hasn't taken a lot of threes really. He doesn't really shoot a lot of threes.
Cavaliers select LeBron James.
Bill.
Cleveland, this is for you.
LeBron James wins his
Who you think finna get it, Bill?
LeBron James, the first overall pick in the 2003 NBA draft 20 years ago, getting set for game 1 of the Western Conference Finals. His Los Angeles Lakers, they take on the top-seeded Denver Nuggets. That's coming up right after we finish the lottery here in Chicago. And in Paris, perhaps another star that we will be talking about 20 years from now, Victor Wembanyama, taking, is that a Polaroid? Selfies with his family, waiting to find out where he may be calling home in just a matter of minutes. We're actually going to talk to Victor soon, but first, let's find out the final 4 picks, the order of the draft lottery. Who will it be that walks away number 1? Is it Houston, San Antonio,
Portland gets Victor,
Charlotte, or Portland?
What is
Joining us once again to announce the order of the top 4 picks in the NBA draft lottery is Deputy Commissioner and Chief Operating Officer Mark Tatum.
Thanks again, Malika. The 4th pick in the NBA draft goes to the Houston Rockets.
No!
The 3rd pick belongs to the Portland Trailblazers.
Fuck!
The 2nd pick will be made by the Charlotte Hornets. And that means that the number 1 pick in the 2023 NBA draft goes to the San Antonio Spurs.
The San Antonio Spurs walk away with the first overall pick in the 2023 draft. The right to draft a paradigm shifter, a generational talent in Victor Wembanyama. Their first number 1 pick since 1997 and Tim Duncan.
Fuck.
And take a look at the guys they've drafted number 1 in the past. Not only Tim Duncan, but also David Robinson.
I just said this too, bro.
The Spurs, they are not new to this number 1 thing. They are true to this. And now they have been awarded a ticket to the best French show on this side of the Moulin Rouge. And they are standing by with our Monica McNutt.
Peter, congratulations. We heard the enthusiasm that you let out. What's going through your mind?
It's just
who
I might faint. I'm so excited. The city of San Antonio, our fans, man, like we just have so many people that love the Spurs, and so we're pumped.
Well, congratulations. The organization has certainly done well when they've had picks this high in the draft. Malika, back over to you.
Monica, thank you so much. Let's take a look at how the NBA draft lottery is shaking out. The Spurs have earned the number 1 pick and walk away with the rights to draft Victor Wembanyama, followed by the Hornets, the Trailblazers. This is how the rest of the lottery is shaking out. Let's go to Paris now and check in with our own Brian Windhorst, who is standing by with Victor Wembanyama. Bonsoir, Brian.
Hello, Malika. Hello, Malika. It's 2:30 a.m. here in Paris. Victor, you found out a couple of moments ago you'll be following the footsteps of David Robinson, of Tim Duncan.
They say
great
they're
French
gonna
players,
draft
Boris Diaw and Tony Parker. What are your emotions right now?
Oh, it's a guarantee. Tony Parker has been wanting him. Like they're gonna grab that for. Come on, it's the number 1 pick. Come on.
Everyone, I love everyone I know around me. It's really a special moment. I'm gonna remember.
Rigged.
There's American fans and NBA fans across the world are still learning about you. What is the NBA? What are the San Antonio Spurs getting with Victor Wembanyama?
Team player. I'm gonna make everything to win as many games as I can, and I'm trying to win a ring ASAP. So be ready.
Dang.
So the San Antonio Spurs were tied up in knots. I talked to their general manager, Brian Wright, today. He's been not able to sleep for a week. Now that you know where you're going, what do you think you can take the Spurs? Where do you think you can take the Spurs next season?
I'm gonna try and bring my feelings here. I love Texas. I've been there before. I'm really happy, and I really can't wait to meet the fans and to meet hopefully the team I'm about to join in June.
Well, they look forward to meeting you. You're headed to San Antonio. Malika, back to you.
Brian, Victor, thank you so very much. I want to win a ring ASAP. Whoa, San Antonio Spurs have walked away with
like
the
they already drafted him or something.
Greg Popovich ushering in David Robinson in the 80s, Tim Duncan in the 90s, and now Victor Wembanyama in 2023. He'll be greeted with a brand new $500 million training and practice facility in San Antonio, as if they planned it to welcome in perhaps the greatest draft prospect in NBA history.
I honestly couldn't think of a better organization that he could have gone to. When you think about,
I do not want one of the
Greg
Thompson
Popovich
twins. I
there,
really
the
don't.
stability that they've had,
Aaron
the
Thompson, I just feel he's
success
gonna
that
be a
they have
bust,
had over
man.
the past
Oh
20 years.
man, I feel he's gonna be a bust.
I think he's in good hands, and I think the entire San Antonio fan base
I gotta start
is
looking at.
is
I gotta start
rolling
looking
over
at
right now. I can't
a
wait
lot more
to get on
prospects right
social
now
media and see
because
how crazy it is.
Well, I mentioned it on stage a little bit. The other top 4
Man.
picks they've had, you're talking about Duncan and Robinson, guys that are Hall of Famers. I mean, this is incredible. Personally, for Victor, this is such a great position for him to land, but of course, for the entire Spurs organization.
Let's check in on the order of the mock draft now that the lottery order has been set. This is according to the peerless Jonathan Gavoni. Victor Wembanyama slated to go first, followed by Brandon Miller, Scoot Henderson, Amen Thompson, and then Jarris Walker rounding out the top 5. For the rest of
I might
Jonathan
low-key
Gavoni's
look at
mock
Jarris
draft,
Walker.
go to ESPN.com/NBA/draft/news. Wasting no time here. The NBA Draft Combine from Chicago. It starts tomorrow, continues Thursday
Like
on
he plays in
ESPN2.
the overtime league, that rec league, and those dudes like the 16 to 20-year-olds playing in there. He's the oldest dude in the rec league. And like, there's not a lot of tape out there for them. I don't trust and also he can't shoot. He has no jumper. Like he has literally no jumper, like from anywhere. Like he's not a good free throw shooter. He's not a good 3-point shooter. He's not a good mid-range shooter. He got no J at all. His jumper's broken actually, and like he's a great athlete though. He might be the best athlete in the draft. That's his upside. Like he's crazy athleticism, crazy hops. He might have the best vertical. I think. He could finish in the paint really well, and he's a good passer. He's like 6'7" point guard basically, but he can't shoot at all. He can't shoot a lick. Like he makes Westbrook coming out look like a competent knockdown shooter or some shit, man.
Damn,
like Westbrook coming out. Yes, as a shooter, yes, man, straight up. And so like to me, I don't like rolling the dice on these super hyper athletic dudes that like gotta have the ball in their hands. And like with the roster that we have, I don't know. Like, I would rather like I just feel like it's like, and he's gonna be so reliant on his athleticism.
Oh look, they go
to
homie Dev.
Man.
Yeah.
I'm killing myself, bro.
Yeah, you working out? I see you, bro.
Bro, I'm doing this shoulder workout. It is killing me. But
what do you think about the draft lottery?
I didn't see it. Who won it?
The Spurs. The Spurs got the first pick.
See, exactly what I thought. Of course, the Spurs won it. Who got the number 2 and 3 pick?
It's even worse when you hear that the Rockets got the 4th pick. So tragic.
I'm sorry.
Tragic.
I'm sorry, Mars.
Damn.
But hold up, though. But I'm not surprised the Spurs got it. I feel like honestly that's a perfect fit for that team.
Yeah, man. It was rigged for them to get it. I knew it was gonna happen.
They already got wings like Devin Vassell and what's the other guy? Keldon Johnson.
Yeah.
I think, and obviously they got a next Tim Duncan. They want the next David Robinson.
Cap.
I don't know. But the thing is Greg Popovich still going to coach though? Or he's going to retire? I don't know about that.
Popovich just added 10 years to his contract just now.
Oh well, never mind then.
No, I'm playing. He ain't do that, but he gonna try to do.
Yeah. He definitely gonna coach now.
But, I feel like that's a good landing spot for him because there's not a lot of pressure on Victor. They're good at the Spurs are a good developmental team. Well, medical staff is kind of iffy, but what up, Drew?
What's up, man?
My fault. I didn't know you as your co-host, but yeah.
Yeah. This how I felt. Okay,
oh, you the one that cooked Dub on the John Wall stuff. Good stuff.
hey, it's still facts. I'm still coming for. I don't care if Harden choked in Game 7. He's still better than John Wall. John Wall still wouldn't have got.
John Wall wouldn't have gotten one game. Let's be real. But hey, how long y'all gonna be on?
Not that much long. I'm finna watch.
I gotta feel you. I'm gonna keep on tapping into y'all podcast. I'm not leaving yet, but next time y'all on, I'm gonna definitely catch y'all in more. Sub up to
yes,
y'all.
sir, man.
Absolutely.
Appreciate you, Dave.
I already subscribed to y'all, so I'm gonna keep on tapping in with y'all.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Well, man, I'm about to
man, that's sad as hell, man.
Fourth?
I was not thinking 4th at all, man. I was thinking like worst case scenario. I'm thinking we 3rd. Yeah, worst case scenario. I'm thinking we're gonna get 3rd, but like, man, because now I feel like the bust potential is so high now on the guys. Like now it's like I would rather us try and trying to go for maybe trade it depending on what we can get, or or look at some of these dudes that maybe like undervalued that could like maybe be like a surprise hit. But like, man, I feel like if we end up drafting Amen Thompson, man, this dude's gonna bust. I feel so strongly this dude's gonna bust. That's why I just did not. I was like not even concerned about. I'm like, there's no way we gonna end up with the 4th pick or the 5th pick. And Jarius Walker to me like could be like a legit like quality player, but I don't think he's like a jack of all trades. Like he's not great at any one thing, but he's good at a lot of things. Like really good defender, good passer, good scorer, good finisher, good like he could do a little bit of everything. But he's like what do they like to say? Like a jack of he's a master of
jack of all trades.
Jack of all trades, master of
Swiss
none.
Army knife.
Yeah, but he's a master of nothing. Like he's not. There's nothing that he's like elite at, right? And the only thing really that Amen Thompson's elite at is just his athleticism and I guess his finishing. Like he be throwing it down on dudes, on 16-year-olds out there in the overtime league. But
overtime.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I don't think that was a good decision for him to go there. But like I'm so critical on him because he went there. And he's not lighting the league on fire. Like you playing against a lot of like 16, 17, 18-year-olds and your numbers are just okay. Like he averaging, I think, like 16, 6, and 6 or something like that on like, dog shit shooting splits or whatever. But his finishing is great. Finishing is great. That's it. And his passing is good, but I don't even know how to gauge it because it's like you playing against like the worst competition out of everybody in the draft class. Like you're not even going up against the top college level players. G League's even got better competition. G League's got grown men and former NBA players and guys that have been on rosters and like they got like you the oldest dude in the overtime league. Like he's already 20. He's gonna be damn near 21 by the time he plays his first NBA game.
You talking about the Thompson dude?
Thompson, both the Thompson twins, both of them.
Oh, yeah.
Amon is the higher prospect because his athleticism, while his brother's got like a better jump shot, and but he doesn't have the same ceiling athletically or whatever. But yeah, like I don't feel good about if we end up drafting him. Now maybe he ends up getting here's the other thing happen. Maybe we keep the pick. Maybe he ends up getting drafted higher because there's a possibility like he could end up going 3rd, and we could end up with Brandon Miller, which I'm not super hype on, but because I feel like there's just a lot of crossover with what we already got with Jabari, and like I don't know, man. I don't know how I feel about this draft now. I'm so underwhelmed not going into next season, except for like I know I'm gonna see some more development from like Jalen Green to be excited for, but like
in the new coach,
new coach, but like man, I was so hyped for us to have like a legit point guard that could like. Run the show,
but maybe it could be a blessing in disguise. I mean, it's still a top pick. Maybe another team want to come off a player or something.
Yeah,
see how that worked.
Yeah.
Well, man, that's
basketball guys. They not effing with Houston right now.
Yeah, man, it's all good. Do you have anything to say before we head up on out of here?
Nah, man, I'm just tragic. Damn. And like, what's making me mad is like, was one of my friends. Like, he's a Rockets fan. He'd been like, but all before the days leading up, he'd been like gassing Amen Thompson. Like, he'd been like, man, I hope we get. I'm like, he was wanting to draft him. Regardless of, I mean, as long as we can get the number 1 pick, he was willing to draft him number 2 over everybody else. Like he wants him over everybody except for Wemby.
I don't know about that one.
And he's like, man, he gave me some of the dumbest arguments too, man. I'm just like, what he said. He was saying, I'm gonna see if I can find it because he was making me mad. I was arguing with him like why we should get Scoop.
Well, I'm gonna close it out. I appreciate everybody tapping in with us. It's been a fun episode, a terrible ending, but It is what it is. Make sure y'all follow us on Instagram at Double Dribble Pod. Like the video for us and subscribe. Appreciate everybody.
Thank y'all. Damn.